Draw me like one of your French girls.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's going to make everybody better.
Tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it.
Keeping it 100.
He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the vacant anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now the mouth stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, straws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the up there. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keep it 100, baby. Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it
man.
100.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Down there. I don't know if that right now actually touched the ground.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, what is good, TTNL family? Another one bites the dust. Our Bears took another L this week. So I'm sure 2 of our guys are going to talk about that a little bit. We don't want to hear any of you people talking about Justin Fields. He is not a Bear. We do not care, but I'm sure they're going to address some of the crazy stuff that's been said. Anyway, without further ado, let me bring in... That is scary. Let me bring in at least one of the guys that you are really here to see, Mr. Shane, smartest man, Marshawn.
Yeah, they're happy to see me. Fuck you, Ivan Vargas, back there.
Let's go ahead and bring Ivan. Ivan, you good to come in?
He's good. He's
Okay.
always good.
I'm always good.
Hi, Ivan.
What up?
Yeah, what's up?
That
We're back.
that fucking animal picture at the beginning that you shared, it scared the shit out of us.
Whoever that guy is. Who the fuck knows who that
I mean,
is?
we are coming up on Halloween, so.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Cherie, what are you gonna dress up for Halloween? What are you gonna be?
I don't know. Hell,
Waitress?
Maybe I can be a functioning offensive line for the Bears. That'll
Woo!
be nice.
Sign me up. You play center?
Shut up, Shaq.
Pivot man, Trees pivot man. You've received a snap or two in your day.
You're going to keep my private life out of this?
Oh my God.
Oh, football is here. It changes every year, but the Chicago Bears are still the same. It's frustrating, you know what I mean? You have so much optimism, and it's such a fatal flaw for a franchise to have. That's what gets me, and it's simple, common sense things that they continue to just drop the ball on. I know Jeremy Fowler reported today that don't be surprised to see Roschon Johnson get more snaps. Well, should have got more snaps last week. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. It's the Chicago Bears are not a year too late franchise. They're a 6 or 7 years too late franchise. It seems like, but here we are, and I know the temperature outside of Bears land, and with a certain segment of fans, Jaden Daniels, he played fantastic. I get it. He looked great. Had a good game. Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. But my DMs are flooded. My getting text messages from people, and it's wow. It just took one fantastic game for everybody to abandon ship and just want to pivot and sign me the fuck up for Caleb Williams. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I feel even more confident about Caleb Williams this week than I did last week. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. Good for Jaden Daniels. I'm rooting for Justin Fields. Give me those 51 snaps, Justin.
Right.
That's my thought process there. Give them to me. Give me that 4th round pick. Go do your thing. You're a talented quarterback. Go do your thing. That's where I'm at. But you have guys like Chase Daniel coming out there, clickbait king. All he is.
Oh, do you
terrible.
Do you have that screenshot, Shane?
I can get it. Yeah, it's just
pull that up. Pull that up, because I knew he was always a guy, especially at the towards the end of Justin's tenure here.
Yep.
You saw him pop out of the woodwork. Hey, this, that, and that about Justin. Then he started. I could always tell he was going after a job. Right. It was always
100%.
This big. I'm making this big statement. I'm making this big statement. And it's like, hey, man, I get you're trying to, move up in the world, but the clickbait that Shane had showed me, it's sickening. It's like, bro, no, don't do this to gain, fans. It's
listen.
Not great. Josh Dobbs isn't unbelievable. Like, let's be real, bro.
Right, yeah, and this is what you're talking about right here. And this is so anybody, and this was, I didn't go back and look this up. I should have the name of the guy that tweeted it out, but he tweeted this directly back to Chase. So good for him. But I'll have to look up that tweet. But these are Chase Daniel breakdowns, from before. Zach Wilson offense failing him. Josh Dobbs is not human. Aiden O'Connell is the answer. Josh Dobbs is trouble. Can he be stopped? I mean, that's just classic clickbait. And
100%.
People call out Chase, and his rebuttal is 14. And if anybody wants to know what that means, it means 14 years in the NFL. That's great, Chase.
As a backup, though.
Well, sure, but at least he was in the NFL. I get that aspect of it. It doesn't. There's, Michael Jordan in my realm is the best to ever do it. It didn't mean that he was a good or even mediocre GM. You know what I mean? There's lots of other things that go into this. Mm-hmm. And Chase is Clay Harbor. We've had him on this network. Clay Harbor is nothing but clickbait. Nothing but clickbait.
100%.
I had to unfollow Clay on Twitter because I couldn't take it anymore with his nonsense. He gets one headline and then regurgitates it because he wants the interactions, and that's how X works now. I need to sit with better posture. Well, send your wife over here and we'll talk about it.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm kidding, Lucas. I'm perfectly straight. I'm hunched. I'm a tall guy, man. I'm not.
I'm shocked
Still.
you didn't go another way with that joke.
No, we're glad that's all he said. That's
All right. I'm gonna do the show just like this for Lucas's wife. What's her name, Lucas? And I'll call her out. I'll shout her out. Just, I don't even feel. Doesn't this look odd for me? Sherry, do I look comfortable?
No.
I don't. So,
No.
anyways, I'm gonna do the rest of the show like this. We'll see how it goes.
So we're only doing 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 7-minute show. 7-minute show. No, but it is what it is. And I just, oh God, David Haw put out a thing. His podcast buddy Dan Weeder today. He's like, "Are you gonna ask Caleb at the presser today if he feels the pressure from Jaden Daniels?" And it's just Dan's like, no. He's like, it's not relevant to his progress at all. And it's true. I was proud of Dan for saying that to him live on air. But we are a passionate fan base. Hey, Kate, we're beaten down and we're going to react 100%. So that's what 90% of this is about. I mean, we've had patrons sign up because they believe in what we're talking about. We've had patrons that have been with us for years that have walked away because of what they do. Cool Kennedy left the network because of Justin Fields. So whatever, you do your fucking thing. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And to be honest with you, I'm under the same, mindset as Wiederer. Like, why should Caleb fucking worry? Why should anybody be, worried about somebody else's quarterback? Our quarterback, I believe, with proper protection, would look way better. With a couple of different play calls, this team could look way better. This team, just quite honestly, this team lost. They fucking flat out lost the game. Should have been won. Team should be 2-1, but they're not because they have not put it all together. Caleb, to me, doing what he did, no other Bears rookie quarterback has done that. And I know when you pass it 52 times, you're bound to hit. But hey, man, you trusted him to pass 52 times. He didn't throw 6 interceptions. He threw two. One I really put on the receiver for not catching the ball, and the guy was just in the right place at the right time. But nonetheless, he was able to perform as a quarterback, and there wasn't any point in time, unless he was like under immediate duress, that I felt like the confidence was slipping from him. He kept stepping up. He kept, being a leader on the team. And to me, I just think the sky's the limit as long as you find a way to protect him.
And this is the thing, Ivan. You've been through the tape. I've been through it. There's nothing on there. I mean, like Chase Daniel said, that Caleb is clearly struggling, and I don't know what he is looking at. I don't.
For a rookie, for a rookie, okay.
But I don't see things that you were like, wow, that is a huge. The first interception, 100%. Can't make that throw. Didn't get the ball out on time. Your footwork was horrific. You were off balance. Can't make that throw. Chalk it up. Dumb pass. Call it whatever you want. Rookie mistake. Whatever. The second one to Rome, was it aggressive? Hell yes, it was aggressive. You're drafting a guy number 1 overall because of his aggressiveness.
Yes.
And his big playability. It also hit Roma Dunze right in the hands.
Should have been caught.
That's why you, drafted him in the top 10.
Who makes those type of
plays
throws
like that?
Top fucking quarterbacks make those throws, Shane. Top fucking tier quarterbacks
Every week
make those throws.
Ivan, it wouldn't even have been quote unquote special. You see plays like that makes a Jason Leisure that lead different than what we see in the Bears game. And I've said that forever. I said we can't even call in having our guys getting ready for a 2-point conversion. I know Lawrence Holmes and a couple other guys were trying to blame it on Caleb and Roma Dunze. The entire team was running off the field. You had coaches holding up, go for one. It's a bad operation.
Why weren't your coaches? And again, we talked about being prepared.
Ivan, they shouldn't even have to be told in the moment there, because it should be done. We score on this drive. We're going for 2. We're down by 11.
Again, it goes back to what we were saying prior to the season starting. The biggest, like one of the bigger things that we were talking about is how are they going to be prepared for certain situations? How are they going to be prepared to start the season? How are they going to be prepared, in game wise? And so far, it's been shit. Again, it's been absolute dog shit. And you go from the first game. Yeah, we got the W. I liked how the defense responded and everything. We found a way to win. Awesome. But as far as being prepared, that team was not prepared. They weren't prepared for the Titans. They weren't prepared for the Texans, and they weren't prepared for the fucking Colts. And the Colts one is the one that really irks me, because that fucking team should have been beaten by you, and you found a way 100%. To fucking lose.
And that's I'll break news here right now. I'm not picking Chicago this weekend. You ain't facing Anthony Richardson. Say whatever you want about Matthew Stafford. That dude can throw the pill around the field.
I don't give a shit how many receivers are out right now for them. To me, if they have a competent quarterback, an offensive line that could block halfway decent in a running game, Kyron Williams, he's a guy that could, he's a pretty solid back. I don't know their backup running backs. I'm not that into the Rams, but Matthew Stafford alone, if you have that and your defense is tired because your offense can't score on the Rams, you're going to have issues.
Totally agree, man. They're, like I said, I know Stafford has his issues, but he ain't making those passes like Anthony Richardson did last week. I mean, Anthony Richardson had some dudes just wide open and couldn't complete a 10-yard pass. He's sailing it over their heads. That's a problem. And who would you rather be moving forward? Would you rather be the Colts moving forward with Anthony Richardson or the Bears with Caleb?
Definitely us.
Yeah, I totally agree.
100%.
I'm no huge Steichen fan either, but I'd also take Steichen over Flus. I would.
Yeah. And the DJ Daniels, that's that's a great point.
Yeah.
Like just what we're talking about, how many times have we gone into games where, the whatever may be, whether we're pissed off at how one thing's working, where we're in the game and some way, somehow we find a way to lose it by, not paying attention to timeouts, being, just reckless with our challenges, whatever it may be. They just find a way to lose, and that falls on coaching, and it's been falling on coaching. When is it going to stop?
Right. Ken Morford, my question is, how does Waldron go from okay in Seattle to completely incompetent here? I think that there's a ton of factors there, Ken. I really do. I think that Waldron wants to expand. His thought process was like, my next step is head coach. I blow up with all these weapons and this, prized quarterback coming in. I'm going to be a head coach 100% someplace next year, rather than just doing your fucking job and making things. I don't want to say make things as easy as possible, but just his personnel usage, just some of the routes these guys are running, the concepts. There's no rhyme or reason to any of them. I mean, and Phil, listen, we all know some people love Phil, some people hate Phil, but in terms of the coaching and calling out the offensive line coach and Simo, he was the first one to do it with Matt Nagy. Even when he's like, I don't give a fuck if he was coach of the year. This dude has massive issues. He was all over it with Getsy. He's all over it again with Waldron. And this is no different. My biggest concern with Flus coming into this year was situational football, and it has not improved. It's probably gotten worse. Like I said, you're telling me that you can look at the timeouts, not just in this game, but last game, not having your team ready for a 2-point conversion. Again, I hate to bag on this guy because he's actually played well, but how is DeAndre Carter a focal point of our offense on third down? How are you having him blocking a defensive end at any point? You did it last year with Tyler Scott, Darnell Mooney, and you got called out by and said, oh, yeah, we have to be better. You got called out for it again this week. Cap called him out. Yeah, we have to be better. No, you're no better, Flus. You did it again. You did it again. It's crazy. I just
how do these decisions like for me, I'm trying to figure out without being a head coach is tough as it is, but learning these things, on the fly. He is a first, and I'm not making an excuse, but first time head coach, right? The only way to really correct this, I would feel like, is if you had another job. Like if you ended up getting fired here and getting another job somewhere and being able to right the wrongs that you had. Right now, Flus isn't I don't think he's going to be able to right any wrongs. I think he's going to be the same guy. I think he's going to continue to be, a little bit shaky on challenges and real reckless with timeouts. It's just, I don't see this changing, and I don't know how it changes. I don't
either. And then again, like I said, the one guy that we have not talked about yet is Ryan Poles, and 100%. He's got egg all over his face. Poles does. 100% does. This is your team. This is your head coach. This is your offensive line that you thought was good enough for your franchise pillar in Caleb Williams that you drafted number 1 overall. And we're in week 2 and again in week 3, and you're scrambling. Remember the comment, the best depth I've ever been around on any team on the offensive line. You signed Nate Davis. You signed Darnell Wright. And I understand Darnell Wright has not lived up to his billing. I think we'll see. Maybe it sounds like he's been dealing with a back issue for a while and trying to play through, and they brought light to that today. But is that an excuse? We'll see. I'm not putting it past Chicago, putting that out there to buy the kid time. That's how the Bears operate. They do shit like that. I mean, he's got a back injury, but he's day to day.
Right.
Anybody ever hurt their back?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to put fucking socks on, let alone pass block and run block in the NFL. We'll see. Darnell Wright, to me, looks out of shape. Nate Davis, to me, looks out of shape. Tevin Jenkins, to me, looks out of shape. Guess what?
Nate Davis, 100% is out of shape.
That's your culture. That is your culture. You can't continue to swing and miss and shop in the bargain bin for the most critical part of any team. What did Jim Harbaugh say? Everybody on an NFL or on a football team needs the offensive line to play good. Everybody, offense and defense. It affects the entire team. It's the most critical spot. And Ryan Poles is not free from blame. And I like a lot of the moves that Ryan Poles has made. I do. Hey, Phil.
I know. I'm trying to find one that doesn't. There we go.
It's just, no, man. I don't know how you feel, with Ryan Poles on it, Ivan, but we can't have this conversation and not talk about the general manager, because like I said, the radar, the sight lock is on his forehead too, as it should be.
Right. Real quick, let's just go ahead and address where the where the shortest elephant in the room?
Yeah. Yeah. Phil's just dealing with some family stuff. Nothing major. Yeah. We'll just update you on that. He's dealing with some family stuff behind the scenes. Obviously more important than talking football. Family first always. We were going to have Jim Larison on tonight, and he was going to announce the winners of who is going to be watching the Patriots game with us for everybody that donated. We actually had to push that back to next week. Fortunately, Jim lost his uncle today, passed away. So Jim is currently in the air flying back to Chicago because he's got a funeral to attend to. So obviously our thoughts and prayers and well wishes and strength are all sent towards the Larisons, and Phil will be back. He just isn't going to be on tonight. He's just dealing with some family stuff behind the scenes, as we all have pop up every once in a while, especially when you have pain in the ass kids, and sometimes life just happens. Right, Ivan?
Oh, happens every day. But let's go. Just sticking with the O line.
Yep.
You know, looking for that right five. Like I feel like that's been a question we've been asking for the past 10 years. You know, finding that correct five. Who right now, and I know it's been like real shoddy. We don't know if let's just take our guy Wright out of the equation. Who do you think the five would be this weekend against the Rams?
Who do I don't think that they will put Amagaji in there yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he's closer. So I think it will be Braxton Jones, left tackle, Tevin Jenkins, left guard, Coleman Shelton, center. It'll be Matt Pryor at right guard. And then I think Darnell Wright will be back. I think he'll be, but if not, I think you'll see Pryor push outside, and then it would be Nate Davis at right guard.
Davis. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much what I was looking at as well. It's just a simple fact. I just don't trust Nate Davis whatsoever.
No,
it's hard.
I'll be honest, Ivan. I don't trust any of them on the offensive line.
Yeah,
I really don't. I mean, probably overall, Braxton Jones is playing the best of any of them consistently. I know Tevin has had some moments, but that shows you how inconsistent everybody has been, because Braxton, your anchor hasn't gotten any better.
No.
I mean, Tevin did have a couple. Darnell Wright, even, with his issues, had a couple of nice moments Sunday, but the consistency, I think he's got to get in better shape.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it, what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they didn't, I don't know what it was. I felt like they were having an okay camp as far as, Wright was concerned, some of the younger guys, Jones, but I did not expect a complete, shit show that it's been.
Yeah.
I want to see more of the run. We've been talking about it ad nauseum. I like that Roshan's going to be coming in. They reported that Roshan's going to be taking a little bit more of the snaps, which is great. Now, with Roshan, you even saw, and you'll see in the tape, there's a couple times where you're trying to get Roshan outside with these faster, ends, these faster linebackers, and it's like Roshan's not that dude. Roshan should be in between the tackles. Then you could go ahead and maybe use Herbert bouncing it out, and definitely Swift. But if you're going to use Roshan Johnson, you need to use him. Get Caleb under center. If Blasingame is going to be back, awesome. Or if not, find somebody that can play fucking fullback. With Carlson. If Carlson could go back there and play fullback, put his ass back there and play fullback.
Yeah.
Run Roshan between the tackles. We need to get this running game going. Caleb can't sit back there and pass this 60 fucking times and hope that we could win the game. Yeah, he could do it, but he shouldn't be allowed to do this. It's neglectful on your, as an offensive coordinator, to allow your young quarterback to do that, even last week, I was like, man, and you heard Caleb, I didn't get the clip, but you heard him. He said it in the interview. He's like, oh, I passed it 52 times. He seemed like the only one not to know. And it's too much to put on a guy in his first year.
It is. I'm a believer in Caleb. And you heard me last week say what's everybody going to do when the Bears pull the okie doke?
Yeah.
And we get here Sunday night and Caleb has had 38 pass attempts. That was my exact quote. He had 52. And let's not pretend like that game was out of hand at any point, because it was not. And I understand DeAndre Swift to this point has been a massive failure for Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham as a free agent signing. But put Roshan in. He's a guy that you believe in. Run him more. He's a physical running back. You know how it is. You get hit with a battering ram over and over and over again, you start to break down. And let's not pretend like DeForest Buckner was in there either, because he was not.
No. And that's part of the, and we talked about it, and I know I was yelling, and thank you, Doug, for the shout out about the rant. But Shane, I only went off on one drive, right? Like the rest of it, I could have dealt with. That one drive, I felt cost you the game, and it did. It really did, because you fucking left points on the board. You couldn't even get a field goal out of that situation, and you're going into the second half with nothing, with absolutely nothing. And matter of fact, they went and got points.
Yeah.
So how deflating is that for a defense that I feel is a top tier defense and has been fucking, I mean, look what they've done so far, bro. They've kept us in every game, and they'll continue to do that but at a certain point, they get tired too.
Yeah.
So they got offense needs to step up. It's a big game. It's a big game because for me, and there's guys out there. Oh, we need to let them play. I obviously see things through. If Shane Waldron can't get things going, and it looks like shit again, and we're questioning play calling, there's got to be a move, and we need to all call for a move.
I hear you, man, and I think if there's any move to be made, I think it would start with Simo. He's been there the longest. I'm not saying that I don't agree with the move being made. I do, but it's so un-Chicago Bear like. They're gonna practice and preach patience and we need to communicate better and all the typical bullshit. No, let's add another C into that. Let's practice common sense. And they are not. And they have never been a team that has practiced that.
No, not at all. And you're right. To me, it's a little far-fetched, but my belief is if the fans and some of the media and these podcasts just keep hammering that point home, there needs to be something done. Like the Bears can't come out here and say, oh, there's going to be huge strides made this season. We're going after. They pretty much said we're going to be a playoff team. You can't come out here, give us all this hype, and then be like, oh, we're good where we're at. God forbid we lose the next 3 games.
Right.
Then where will we be?
Yeah, Zach, I understand that they were down. The game was never out of hand, like I said. And heightened pass attempts. He threw 52 passes. 52. That's not heightened. That's exorbitant.
At a certain point.
It's a fucking joke. It's ridiculous. Worst run defense in the NFL. Roshan Johnson got 8 carries. Let's just continue to smash DeAndre Swift up the gut. Fuck. Let's run speed option on 4th down. 4th and 1. Let's do it. Or 4th and goal from the 1. Lose 12. Makes no sense. No point should he have had 52 fucking passes. It's ridiculous.
No, it's just neglect. Like I said, that was I was scared for Caleb at certain points because it's like, damn, dude, like, as bad as the offensive line has been, to put him back there, I could understand you have trust
Exactly.
in
27 at half.
At the half. It's unreal. So, like, but for me to put your quarterback, regardless if you believe in him, and I believe in him, regardless if he can handle it right now in this first year, that's a lot in his third game to put on him, especially with the you punched it home. I'll keep driving it home as well. The worst run defense in the NFL at the time. And you continue to try to bounce it outside where they were real fast. Every time you ran it up the gut with Roschon Johnson, you found success. But Shane, guess what? Once we find success, we have to, get away from that. Yes, we have to go ahead and pass it 52 fucking times. So we can't allow the running backs to shine, because who gives a shit about running backs? Remember, that's the fucking bullshit narrative. And it gets me upset sometimes. And I understand running backs are a dime a dozen, but they're a necessity to winning football games. They're a necessity to going ahead and developing a young quarterback. They're the protection. Not only the tight ends, but the running backs. They protect your young quarterback, and you're going ahead and allowing him to go out there and risk life and limb for his third game of the season against a terrible defense and a bad team. It was foolishness in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And Ben, I have no idea what it's pretty custom. Tuesdays are the players' off days. I mean, they're still in Hallis Hall on their off days. Most of them, if not all, are. And that's the days that you have guys come in and try out. I know the Bears had a quarterback in, O'Loughlin, former Chiefs quarterback, was in that. It's not just one guy. So I guess I have not heard this the tryouts for the O-line, and I don't have the names, but yeah, it's pretty customary that all NFL teams bring guys in normally on Tuesdays to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. I think you have to, like, Ivan, you and I talked about it, and I think we talked about it on BHL, and I might have brought it up when I popped in on Big Steve's show. I think DeAndre Swift, he needs to be labeled as a weapon. He's never been a workhorse back, and if that's what Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham thought that he was, I'm not sure what they were watching to think that he was that. I mean, you need to use him everywhere. You can use him in the backfield. You can split him out wide.
Mm-hmm.
You can use him the way you're using DeAndre Carter and some, he's a guy if you can get him into space. But again, the Bears had him in space. I don't know, Ivan, if you looked on it on the All-22 on that one screen pass they had set up for him, he's going 35 or 40 right there.
Yep.
All day.
Oh yeah.
Bears actually had it blocked up.
Yeah.
So it's
that's another
issue.
Yeah, it's definitely an issue. There's one thing that, and we talked about it before, about the dual back, put both of them back there.
Yeah.
Caleb, I would love to see Caleb under center. And I'm not saying go ahead and have this, go ahead and put the wishbone in. But I'm saying, have Swift, have Roschon.
Yeah, we ran the speed option.
Right. We ran the speed option, might as well, right? But, have Swift and Roschon in the same backfield. Like you said, you could go ahead and, DeAndre out wide.
Yeah.
You could set that motion up if need be. Or you could keep them both in the backfield and nobody will know what's coming. And you keep your, two of your best runners out there. You could do the same thing with Khalil Herbert. I think the idea of bringing Roschon in, though, Shane, is that idea of establishing the identity. Because the way he was running, the way he was, he would get up, even on pass catches. He was getting up, he was taking hits, and he was alive. He was he was energized. And to me, you need more of that. I don't know, and I joked, I don't know if it was him getting cold cocked in Houston that woke him up, but I love to see the quote unquote franchise pillar building his way up to that. I like to see it, and I want to see more of it. So maybe Roshan and that aggressive type of style can be a part of what becomes our identity as an offense.
They got to do something. They got to do something. And my confidence level in them, even if Roshan starts to run the ball well, Ivan, against the Rams, let's just say I don't have any confidence that they'll stay with it for 4 quarters. It's not who Waldron has ever been. And it's not the Bears. Listen, let's break it down. Let's keep it simple, stupid, right? We traded for Keenan Allen. We already had DJ Moore here, right? You draft Caleb Williams. Then what do? You draft Rome Odunze. Are the flares going off in your head yet? We want to pass the fucking football early. We want to pass it often. We want to pass it always. I understand they signed DeAndre Swift, but he plays into that too because he's a receiving back. They're just not using him much that way. And then when he does get the chance, like I said, he dropped the football. But it's only going to help everything. I would love for Mark Potash or Leisure or Courtney Cronin, Dan Weeder, any of these guys to go into the presser and say to Matt Eberflus, Matt, when you are on the goal line and you know you're going for it and it's 1st and goal from the 1, so you already have made up your mind that this is 4 down territory. We're going for it. Tell me the benefit of running the football out of shotgun versus under center in I formation. Ask him that and see what he says. They never did it. They even went wildcat at one point.
Right.
And again, listen, you put all your resources into Caleb Williams. You never let him throw the football on that series down there.
Nope.
In those downs. But you speed option? That's what you wanted him to do? It's just dumb football.
It's his idea of running the football. That's Waldron's idea. We're running the football. We're running. That's what it is. It's a running play. But it's not the fucking running play you run at the 1 yard, and goal. It's not the right play at that time. And on top of that, if you heard them talking about it, the Colts had it run on them by Green Bay the week prior.
Right.
So you want to go like again, whose identity are you trying to establish? Are you trying to establish yours? Are you trying to just pick and choose what you can do each and every week? Like, who are you, Shane Waldron? How do you get this offense going after what we saw? And the answer isn't 52 fucking passes from Caleb Williams. How do you get the running game going? How do you get this offensive line, blocked up? Whether it be you move on from Chris Morgan or you and Chris Morgan and your head coach should all be coming together and talking about what the hell is the issues and figuring those issues out.
I hear you, man. And I feel like we're just beating our heads against the wall over and it drives me nuts. I know Ryan Poles, it started out with, what was the word that the Bears, they used to say synergy. And then what was the Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy?
Collaboration.
Yeah, collaboration, great collaboration. And now we're into, it seems like everybody's saying, oh, it's, our communication has to be better. I've heard Caleb say it. I've heard Matt Eberflus say it multiple times. I've heard Ryan Poles say it multiple times. And I understand it. When I hear Caleb say that, I understand it. You're a rookie. You're going to do dumb things. You're going to make, have bad moments at times. But come on, Flus, you've been here 3 years. You've been here 3 years. Simo, you've been here a very long time at this point. And we're still seeing fundamental flaws in the simplest part of the game. Oh, we can't run the football? We can't run it from shotgun? We're just going to keep on doing it over and over again? No, how do you address that? No, I'm going to punch you in the fucking mouth and we're going to figure it out. Guess what offensive linemen want to do, Ivan? They want to run block.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to do. That is their mentality always. Ask any offensive lineman, we want to run block. It's what they love to do. That's why they fell in love with playing the offensive line. Can't do that here in Chicago. It makes way too much sense. Can't fuck the I formation. You know, they didn't bring me here to run the I formation. No, I didn't bring you here to run any formation. I brought you here to win football games.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely 100% true, Shane. And, you know, we get those vibes of Nagy. You get those vibes, of terrible offensive coordinators from the past, you know, whether it be Shoop or whoever it may be. But the biggest thing for me is as long as Caleb continues to develop, because regardless of the bad, Caleb, to me, seems like he's, through it all progressing, right? To me and you.
Ivan, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And that isn't being a fucking homer. We're going to tell you, if I had my issues with Caleb and was very, very concerned, I would come out here and tell you, yeah, I'm very concerned. There was a point where I was very complimentary and I wasn't worried about Justin Fields. There was a time, not too much with Mitch because I wasn't a fan from Jump Street, but yeah, you saw some things, but then little things started to creep in. With all of this bullshit around him, and this is the thing too, and this is what people fall back on. And I promise you, I'm not trying to go down this fucking vortex. People are like, oh, you said that he was going to be better than Justin day one. You have to listen to what we're saying. Justin is in year 4. But listen to this. Day one, Caleb Williams is a more progressed passer of the football than Justin Fields is in year 4. And that's not some crazy statement. And there's probably somebody on Twitter right now fumbling their phone trying to tweet out how much of a dumbass I am. It's a stone cold fact that he's a better passer of the football. Fundamentally, everything from day one. Justin has seen a lot more than Caleb Williams has. A lot more on the football field. It is what it is. Year 4. Of course he has. And he's not a different quarterback. No. He's not a different quarterback in Pittsburgh.
He's just better coached.
He's better coached. Everybody's better coached in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. To me, and like I said, I don't get Justin's success is our success. If you believe it or not, you know what I mean? Getting that 4th round pick would be huge. But as far as Justin Fields is concerned, why hasn't Mike Tomlin come out and just given him the starting quarterback position yet? Answer me that question. What is the reason for that? I still think they want to
dangling the carrot as you should.
Right. They want to see that consistency continue with Justin. So has he had a great 3 games? Yeah, good. It'll be great for us if he could get to 51%. But to go ahead and sit here and be like, oh, look at Justin, and then look at Caleb in 3 games as a
Ivan,
rookie.
you know how sold on Justin Fields they are since they've had him? They turned down his 5th-year option.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But nobody's going to talk about that because it's all about financials, and they wanted him to go out there and prove it.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him to go out there and prove it. So listen, it's a never-ending story of shit, and good luck, Justin. Just get 51% of the snaps. That's all I care about. We have infinitely more issues here with this coaching staff and front office, and let's just be honest, this organization as a whole, because they seemingly, can't get out of their own way.
Right.
But
And even with that, I still feel, because of 18, and because of how I feel, not the team and not how the score is ending up, but the progression of the player in his first year. Does he seem phased, Shane? Does he seem rattled? Does he seem like
No.
everything is falling around him? No. And to me, that's a major trait. Like, you could call it arrogance maybe if you're a fool, but to me, that's confidence in knowing that, hey, this is year one. I'm trying to establish myself. I'm on the level of the best of the best.
yeah.
These guys are going to make plays too. The thing is that he's going to have to limit his mistakes so he doesn't allow that. And that's going to come with time. The guy is going to be, in my eyes, he's going to be just right for Chicago.
Right. Where was that one? Scottish Bear had. Do you think Tyson Bagent might get traded near the deadline? Absolutely not. No, he is on an amazing deal financially for the Bears, and his stock does nothing but be very, very good, even by not playing. So there's going to be a point where Tyson Bagent is going to get traded. That's, again, I wholeheartedly believe that.
Right.
How it goes, I don't think this year, I don't even think it's a good move for the Bears.
No.
I don't. I think that they are very high on Tyson Bagent and love him in the role that he is in. And if Caleb needed, to sit down for a week because he had a, ankle sprain or whatever it was, sprained wrist, anything like that, I think they feel great about bringing Tyson in, having him run the offense, and don't really feel like they're going to lose a whole bunch. And I mean, that when you talk about there being a shortage of offensive linemen in the NFL, there's a shortage of quarterbacks, and there's even more of a shortage of quality backup quarterbacks. And he is a young, cost-controlled quarterback that you have no reason for unless somebody wants to make an absolutely grotesque overpay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to trade him right now for a 4th-round pick.
No.
For a 3rd-round pick. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
So,
I'm good with Tyson Bagent and his progression and where he's at right here, right now with the Chicago Bears. No need to go ahead and I just don't see the point. Like, you need a backup. He's a quality backup as of right now. Young. He's still growing in his career, obviously. But no, it's a huge benefit for us to have a guy that we know can go in there, knows the offense, and we know that can perform a little bit. And yeah, obviously everybody needs a shot. I think Tyson will get his shot, whether it be, in short time with the Bears or whenever he gets his opportunity, whether it be here or somewhere else. I think Tyson will be ready to go.
yeah. Our guy Ben Ricketts, Shane Ivan, what do you think that Flus and his staff must do, even win, lose record, win-loss, to remain with the organization? This probably sounds crazy, Ben, but I mean, let's be honest. I don't even know I don't think that there's a number on it. If the offense doesn't progress as a whole, then they're not going to win anyway. So that to me is what it comes down to.
Right.
I mean, Potash had the 5 candidates that the Bears interviewed for OC, and most of the guys were like ranked 7th, 8th, like 9th, 15th, and then our guy's 32nd in the NFL in terms of offense. So to me, that's what it's going to come down to. And again, Ryan, I think out of all of the coaches and everybody, I think Ryan Poles is on the coldest seat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere, but he's not in a position where he can't take some of these bullets because he 100% deserves them.
No, he's definitely going to, if it got to that point, be allowed to to hire another head coach. He's on that 2 head coach type of I guess you'll call it contract right now. I don't think he'll be going anywhere anytime soon, even if he had to move on from the head coach. And that's something that I'm questioning because will emotions hold him back from doing something that has to be done if it got to that point, right? Let's say the Bears in the next 7 games are 3-4, right? 3-4. Offense still isn't looking good. Defense is looking tired. What do you think the thought process in Ryan Poles' mind is then having a 4-9 team?
Oh, I think he has his list not in his pocket anymore. I think it's on his desk, his short list of who he's going to be looking at. And I think that that's where they're at. And listen, Phil and I are lucky enough to know some people and have some contacts. And Ivan, you've heard us talk about it different times. And we were both told by somebody very connected within the Bears organization that Kevin Warren was not a fan of keeping Matt Eberflus as the head coach of the Chicago Bears this season. Ryan Poles went to bat for it and for Flus. And Kevin Warren said, if that's your guy, that's your guy. So I would keep that in the back of your head too, because when you ask, does Ryan Poles have the platitude to make that move? May not be up to him this time.
Right.
So that's what I would say about that. But yeah, it's I know where your thought was. I know where my thought was. I know where Phil's thought was. We know the coach that we wanted this team to go after. Would anybody make that trade right now straight up? I sure as hell would. I know Cherie would. Cherie'd love his ass back in Michigan so they can start winning some fucking football games. Right, Cherie?
Okay, first of all, we won.
Shut up, Cherie. But yeah, it's just one of those things. We'll see, and we'll see how this plays out. But my confidence level in Matt Eberflus, if I'm in Vegas, and I had to put money down, the letters next to Matt Eberflus are DC, defensive coordinator, not HC, and that's fine.
More.
That's fine. Yeah. Some guys are just that. I don't see it. I know there's a long ways to go, and maybe they will shock us all. And I feel like we have the quarterback and I'll double and triple down on this because I think it's already started a little bit. There's the clip of Caleb Williams walking off the sideline, and it looks like he either said, "What are we doing?" or "What are we calling?" And so
either one is not good.
Either one is not good. Exactly. So don't forget the comment that I made, and I forget exactly who said it, but they said the absolute second you draft a quarterback number 1 overall, everybody in the organization works for that guy.
Now, oh yeah.
It's very, very early in the process to the point where Caleb can't just come in guns a-blazing and, say this and this and this and this. But that time is coming, especially if they're losing, and they're losing in really, really stupid ways. You're going to see that happen. And then that is truly when it becomes Caleb Williams' organization. is when those things, and I don't think it's going to be he's up at the podium and he starts screaming and hollering. I don't think he's built that way. I don't think that's who he is. He's, respectable enough and wise enough to realize that you don't handle your business that way, but they're going to hear him behind the scenes. Ryan Poles is going to hear him. Matt Eberflus is going to hear him, and Shane Waldron's going to fucking hear him. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no doubt.
That time is coming.
Oh, I believe
they
you.
Don't start playing better.
No, I 100% believe you. And I Caleb won't, and you're absolutely right. Caleb won't go out there and just be like, fuck Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Eberflus is a fucking dick. Shane Waldron doesn't know what. He's not going to do that. But he will say it in his own way. He'll address it, I'm sure, in front of cameras. He just won't do it, like a meatball. He won't cuss them out. I don't think he'll totally throw them under the bus, but he'll, like some of the guys have been doing. Hey, we call the plays, or we only, run the plays that we're being told to run, stuff like that. Like I could see that coming out from a Caleb Williams in frustration. But as far as tearing somebody, guys completely down or being like, go fire the head coach, at the podium. No. Behind the scenes, dogging all their asses out, though, I would hope.
Chris, tell me someone who didn't want Harbaugh. Well, there was lots of people that didn't want Harbaugh. Our guy Cap didn't want him here. I know
Mo
Cap was one of them.
didn't, and he because he a hater.
Yeah, that's
right. There was lots of people. Guess who else didn't want him? Ryan Poles. That's who didn't want him, right? So yeah, there was lots of people. I don't think Cars was a big bring Harbaugh here guy either. And that's fine. I mean, everybody's got their own flavor of ice cream that they like. I would have been as happy with Harbaugh as I was that the Bears were drafting Caleb Williams. That's where I was at, because I looked at it like this. And this is some breaking news. Everybody knows that Phil has been on Caleb Williams for a long time. And Phil obviously wanted Jim Harbaugh here. And Phil was fully 100% committed to roll with whatever Harbaugh wanted to do at quarterback, even if that included Justin Fields, because he believes in Harbaugh enough to do the right thing and get the most out of every player.
Right.
I don't think I would have went off Caleb Williams. I would have just said, Jim, this is our guy most likely, but we'll see. I mean, it's no sense of crying over spilled milk and thinking about that, but yeah, there was definitely plenty of people, Chris, that didn't want Jim Harbaugh here. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't wasn't unanimous. It was kind of, I would give it about a 65, and then other guys chopped up in there somewhere. 65% of the fan base, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we didn't get him. It is what it is. He's out in not San Diego, LA. I'm looking in talking about Caleb Williams. I'm looking for him this weekend to continue his progression. I know we're still rolling, but I'm looking for him to continue his progression this weekend and just looking for easier throws. Sometimes there was the throw, the first interception on the sideline, and you're going to see it on the tape. It's clear as day. He's got the running back out in the flat right behind him. He didn't have to make that throw. He could have went to another progression and went opposite side of the field where the running back had nothing but room and one guy to beat for the first down.
Yep.
And possibly a lot more. So again, work in progress. A lot of good you saw from Caleb this past weekend. A lot of bad you saw from him and the offense as a whole. But do I believe it's fixable and correctable? 100%. Right. And he has a mentality to do it, Shane. You know it. I know it. It's the way he has carried himself and handled himself professionally so far has been pretty amazing.
Right. And I know this is we have addressed this, Tana Coker, talking about Claudio. He is doing the old family thing, as we like to say. He's got a daughter that is doing college overseas, so he took her to, I don't want to say too much, but let's just say she's in Europe attending college doing that, and Claudio's being a dad. He'll be back at some point when Cherie bounces off and says that she hates us and it's time to eat dinner and tells Phil and I to go fuck ourselves. Then we'll have Claudio back, but he'll be back. No bad blood there whatsoever. He's being a dad, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
We love Claude. What do we got here? Can't believe center neglect. I know my guy Bullets has been blowing up my phone with that. And listen, I brought it up to Courtney, and I don't think she agreed with me too much, but you drafted Doug Kramer for a reason, right? How about you give him a shot? Can he be worse? Probably he could be, but you saw something there. Put him out there. Coleman Shelton, he's had a couple nice moments, but he's also had a lot of moments where you're like, what the fuck? That's very similar to what I've seen over the years. A lot of them, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, again.
But thanks, Kevin, for your super chat. Appreciate you.
Again, I fully expect this, and I don't want to jump to the offseason now. You know, it's a little hard to go ahead to add quality offensive linemen, or, you know, even offensive linemen you're looking to develop in midseason, you know.
Yeah.
But this offseason, now it should be the offseason of the offensive line. It should just straight up be
you don't have any point. Listen, it's offensive line and defensive line. You're never gonna go wrong doing that. You know, I don't see him ever getting out of Kansas City, but that is your pathway if you want to have the biggest splash signing ever for Ryan Poles in free agency. If Trey Smith gets to the market, if Kansas City, you know, because they've paid a lot of people at some point, you can't pay everybody. And you know, if he were to hit the market, you know who he is, Ryan. You open up the checkbook and you reset the market on the offensive line for Trey Smith and say we're going to build around you on our offensive line, and then you have him and Darnell Wright, and then everything else beyond that is wide open. Maybe Amagaji is your left tackle next year. I mean, do you feel comfortable extending Braxton Jones? I don't. I mean, I think you drafted Amagaji for a reason, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. There is a pathway. You move forward with Darnell Wright, and if you were blessed enough to get Smith in free agency, and if Amagaji is your left tackle of the future, then that's, you know, you're working on the left and, you know, one interior spot, and then obviously the center too. So there's a pathway for them to make some moves here. We just got to see. We're just not to that point yet, because you're not getting Trey Smith when they're running for a three-peat. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's got to be, again, it's got to be a two-front approach. Draft heavy. I think they should go after the top. It should be the top offensive lineman in my eyes. Yeah, I know they'll say best player available.
Yeah.
But to me, Shane, you neglected it so damn much. You go out and get a fucking Trey Smith, but also go out and get youth so you can develop them
exactly.
too.
Ivan, you and I are on the same page on this, and
yeah,
I love Roma Dunze. I had zero issue with them drafting an offensive lineman.
Oh no, yeah, 100%.
In some form or fashion, because I think there was enough guys there that I would have been. I mean, I had my favorite guys. If Alt had been there, or if the Bears had moved up, all fucking day long, I would have been drafting him. I was also a J.C. Latham guy, and we'll see how it goes. And we know the story that we have been told, that if Rome Odunze had been drafted by the Giants at 6, the Bears were gonna go down, and Fatanu would have been their target. They were going to move down a little bit, or if they had to sit, that's who they would have taken. So obviously offensive line was in their blueprint. So we'll see.
What do you want to jump to next?
Yeah. This is, I mean, I listen, if a guy like that is out there, you obviously have to, you're definitely kicking the tires to see what it would take. I mean, you can make money work no matter what. And if he's a free agent and you're paying him, then then you're going hardcore offensive line in the draft, like you said. But you make these big time moves like a Trey Smith, or there's no way that he's ever going to hit free agency. I don't think. I think it'll be obviously offensive line, but where was the one that I was talking about? The dude from Parsons. Yeah, talking about Micah Parsons. People have been talking about that, what's going to happen in Dallas, but we'll see, man. It's just I can't get into the free agency and off-season talk when we're heading into week 4. It's just it's not time yet, and there's a lot of football. I don't want to write off Caleb and Rome and these rookies growing. I mean, Amagaji, let's not forget about him. They drafted him in round 3 for a reason. Guy's got to get healthy, and he practiced full. I don't believe he was limited today. Didn't he practice in full today?
I did not.
Amagaji?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Where was the other one? We had another super chat pop up there. Anthony D'Angelo, $4.99. Shane, what about the linebacker Sewell? The guy hasn't even played more than 10 snaps on teams, I think, in 2 years. I don't have I had his snaps someplace. I mean, it is what it is. They obviously see something in him, and health has obviously been I can't disagree with you, Anthony, with Noah Sewell. I know Phil was a big fan of him in the draft, and Cars, maybe. I think I wasn't a big Sewell guy in the draft, just being honest about that. But can't make the club in the tub, right? You gotta stay healthy. And the way that our linebackers are set up right now, he ain't getting any playing time on anything other than special teams if he's going to be playing. Not the way that this line is. I mean, if you want to talk about an interesting scenario, is what are you doing with Sanborn moving forward? To me, he's a guy that you can't let out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I look at it as much as you love the guy that is there. It goes back to the Danny Trevathan versus Nick Kwiatkowski scenario for me. You loved the leadership, and I love TJ Edwards. I love Tremaine Edmonds. I think you let Jack Sanborn out of Chicago. I think that's a move you end up regretting. I'm a big fan. That kid, just when his number is called, he makes plays. Big Jack Sanborn fan. Big one. And that's an interesting dilemma that they're going to be facing here in a little while. So we'll see how that one.
Yeah, I definitely had my questions about Sanborn coming into this season, because I'm especially like during the draft, I was always looking to upgrade, and the million fucking mock drafts that we did, like I'm always looking to upgrade. So, but Sanborn was always a question to me, but the way he's come out, this season,
Looked
like
a
you
lot
said,
better in coverage too.
a lot better in coverage, a lot faster, a lot more decisive with where he wants to go when he's either in coverage or blitzing or just picking up a running back, whatever. He just seems more comfortable at his position.
Yep. No, I totally agree. If you guys have some questions, this is kind of what we're gonna do before we bounce out of here. Like I said, we're not gonna do a super long show tonight. We're gonna get into the Rams and kind of our thoughts and bold predictions on that, and then we're gonna get the hell out of here.
I'll be right. I'll bring Cherie in real quick because I'm gonna be right back.
He'll be right back, Cherie.
Oh, okay.
So, Cherie, do you have any? What is driving you nuts with this team more so than anything? Is it the
coaching?
Is it just coaching? Same thing. Yep.
It's of course, like Phil. I know Phil talks about SEMO and we talk about Shane Waldron, but and I kind of touched on it last week where it goes back to Eberflus. These are the people that he's selecting on his team. Last year we had the issues with the coaches that he selected, and this year now we just got a level of incompetency at these coaching positions. So it all falls on him being the decision maker, which then in turn falls on Ryan Poles for relying on Eberflus to be that guy that's gonna turn this franchise, this team around. So it's just frustrating from a coaching standpoint. Of course, like watching Caleb, he had like a couple of bad throws, like you say, rookie mistakes, but also saw the progression, like the way he processes and, like you say, the fact that he threw 52 times, that's a lot to put on a rookie, and he's still getting it done. And it's like he's getting it done in spite of, and even with the way the game played out, we were in the game, even with all of the mistakes, all of the bad play calling, with everything going against us, we still had a chance to win it in the end. So it's just that shows you that kid, he has what it takes. It's just he needs the right people to make good decisions. That's all it comes down to.
I totally agree. Christian Solid, how's Darnell Mooney been doing this season? I know a lot of people have been screaming. So he's got 12 receptions for 169 yards, the long of 41 and a touchdown.
Shane.
Yes.
I don't understand. Do we not know? Do people not know how to move on? I don't understand. Like, why do we? And granted, I get it. You want to see players go off and be good other places. That's fine. But if you're a fan of the Chicago Bears, why do you care? And that's no offense to.
Well, I think it's because we're beat. I think as a fan base, you're beaten down so much. You're just, and everybody's in that mode of, they leave Chicago and they just, they're amazing everywhere else. Which you can poke a lot of holes into that. But Darnell Mooney had one really good season here, and then had a lot of. You got me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I hit my mute button.
But
yeah, it's just one of those things. People are, they get upset, and they were never going to pay Darnell. They just weren't. They made the Keenan Allen move with the Chargers and brought him in. You paid DJ Moore, and I guess what does it come down to? Would you rather have Darnell, or obviously Keenan hasn't done anything. He's back today. But we'll see. But 12 for 169.
I am all for if something, and even if it's like you say, people worry about they go on somewhere else and they do good. We see Justin doing good in Pittsburgh, but it's under good coaching. He wouldn't be who he is here,
Right.
It's just if something isn't working for me, then it is time to move on. You know, that and I think that's the part I struggle with a lot of Bears fans, which is why I am very limited on my social media exposure, because it drives me insane that everybody is so concerned about what people are doing that really don't really have a direct impact on our team, you know. So
Right.
it's just frustrating from that standpoint. Just move on. Let them be great elsewhere, good for them, but we got our own stuff to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. We have lots and lots to worry about. But yeah, it's not even just X or anything like that. It's rampant absolutely everywhere. I mean, so everybody knows that TTNL has a Patreon, and the way that works is $7 a month, and if you want to bounce out and cancel, the exit survey comes up, and you can give a reason why you don't like our Patreon or you're leaving, or you don't even have to leave an answer. You can just leave. You know, it's not a requirement. But like this one always made me laugh. The reason that they canceled our Patreon, it says Bill and Shane are unprofessional and continue to unnecessarily hate on Justin Fields, who is no longer with the team. It's just like, oh, okay. I mean, you don't like us to break down. I mean, it's same way. I mean, I always thought Cool Kennedy was one of the nicest people that I ever had an interaction with, and that's why he left the network.
Boy, were we wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just it is what it is. And that's I'm not built that way at all. I don't understand people being like that. But hey, more you obviously have your reasons, and I mean, I hope you become best friends with Justin. I just want him to get 51%. It's crazy, but you're never going to change it. People are always on a mission to prove somebody wrong, and it's, you know, I know our guy, the people out there, they go out and say, hey, Jaden Daniels blew up the other night and had the 21 for 23 game, and
Trust me,
I know that people that follow according to some podcasters, this guy never said the kid can't play. I was never drafting Jaden Daniels number 1 over Caleb Williams, and he wasn't even my second quarterback. Guess what? Maybe I'll be shown that I'm 100% wrong. I've been wrong lots before. That's the way that works. And guess what? I'm up here to admit that. But the idiots on X and on social media, they'll never admit that. You know what I mean? It's just they want to come to you with some perceived mistake that they think that they can call you out on. That's never going to change. That's not even just a social media thing. That's a way of life for people that are unhappy. That's the way that I look at it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. The turn has just been kind of crazy. I know Cherie's seen it. I've seen it. You've seen it. It's week 3, you know, and already it's the Bears are the same old Bears. The Caleb's a bust. Has the offense sucked? Yeah. You could say the offense has looked the same. But as far as the players, the mindset of the team, I don't think this team is giving up, and I truly believe that there is hope with the guy at quarterback. There is something there that needs to obviously be polished up, but year 1, guy already has the record for most rookie passing yards for the Chicago Bears. I don't remember the last time I seen a 400-yard game from the close to a 400-yard game from the Chicago Bears.
Brian Hoyer, 2016.
Was it? I thought it was McCown.
Of course, Shane knows that.
That McCown was before that.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Brian Hoyer went on like a fucking 4-game bend. Actually, it was against the Colts, believe it or not.
No
he
shit.
was if you go back to that game, I think he might have been like up around 390. You can look at it. It was 2016 season. I know that. And that was the game we had Indy beat, and he had Alshon Jeffrey wide ass open. He would have went way the fuck over 400 yards. Never threw him the football. And that was the John Fox year. And that was do you remember the presser, the hot dog laden press box? comment that he made when he was taking a shot because people in the press were like, how come he didn't throw to Alshon on that? Because he's wide open. He's like, oh, I don't have the same view as you do from the hot dog laden press box. But yeah, it was Brian Hoyer went on a bender in 2016. Like, I don't know if it was like 3 or 4 games where he was way up there. Yeah. I'm sure somebody in the chat will have it.
And Ivan, I mean, to touch on what you were saying, I feel like the same old Bear, because I have that feeling of, oh shit, here we go again. So that same old Bears is kind of accurate, but to discount these young players, these new players on a roster, that's not fair. We're only 3 games in. Keenan Allen's been, really hasn't done much. Are we ready to say that was a bad signing? It's just ridiculous how after 3 games people are ready to just count these players out as if 3 games tells us all we need to know.
Right. But that's the life that they live in, though. That it's the Madden lifestyle, or fantasy football has hurt it too, because you'll notice with a lot of fans, and you either are you are either awesome or you fucking suck.
Yep.
When was the last time you heard anybody come on and say, you are so average? Nobody says that. You know what I mean? It's you're fucking awesome. You're the best thing ever. And then you drop a touchdown the night. You fucking suck. Your mother suck. Everything. That's the way that it goes. And it's not just a social media thing. That's true in every walk of life, unfortunately. And it is what it is. And with what we do here, Ivan, you know how it is, man. We have our favorites.
Oh, yeah.
But if they fuck up on tape, guess what we have to talk about?
You have to talk about them.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to talk. Sometimes the Lambo gets crashed because you're a dumb fuck, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It doesn't mean that you go cry and walk away, right? It doesn't mean you go, twice. You just are honest about the assessment that you're putting forward, that you work all these extra hours for. I was off today, Ivan. What the fuck was I doing?
Working.
Exactly. Think I wanted to be in here sorting through 200 fucking files for Phil? No.
I'm glad you did, because I fucking did not want to do that.
I wanted to fucking shoot myself. Did you get that email, by the way?
I did. I got it. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, you talk about what you see. Believe it or not, there's some. What did I just say about Caleb? I'm a Caleb fan. I'm glad we have him. Can't make that pass, Caleb. You can't. You were about 3 seconds too late. You were falling. Your footwork was fucked up from Jump Street. That's a bad play, no matter what.
And like I said, that play in particular. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I yelled. I get animated when I'm cutting tape. Like my wife will pop up out of nowhere and I'd be like looking at me.
397.
Yeah.
See that?
She'll look at me like I'm going crazy, but I'm telling you, you'll see it right off to the opposite side of the field, 1-on-1. All you have to do is turn and flick your wrist right out to the running back, and you have a first down. The drive continues. And yeah, it just these are the growing pains that we've spoken about, Shane. These are the rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, don't do it again. That's the issue. If it becomes a consistency, then I would start to have concerns. But as of right now, you did it, Caleb. Don't do it again, or try not to.
Yep. Does anybody get this joke?
Sometimes you leave it.
I do.
Oh yeah, that's Roquan, right? Or is it?
No, Lance Briggs.
Oh no, Lance did.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. That was Lance. Yep. Absolutely. But can we? Yeah, we can. Will they? No. No. That's the difference.
Wishful thinking, Christopher.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? Gary Kaddish on $2. Shane, the first and second picks are O lines. And don't forget, we have 2 second rounders this year because we own Carolinas. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this falls. You know, maybe they have a guy fall to him that's not supposed to fall at a different position, and who knows? They trade down and acquire some more assets and get into the territory where they where they do have an offensive lineman, or you just stick and pick 100%. Yeah, it's definitely on the table, Gary. You are not wrong, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that one. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, we'll do a few more of these before we get over to the picks segment. Sherry, sure, I almost called her Sherry.
I know.
That's like the first time I've ever fucked up that way.
You saw my eyes got big on that one.
Oh, I thought
Like,
I thought your meal delivery was coming through the door when your eyes looked like that.
Okay.
Oh man. Ben is back. Shane, Ivan, Cherie, when do you think Caleb will have the power to call his own plays at the line of scrimmage? Not comparing, but if Peyton got a call and knew it wouldn't work, call an audible. I think that they're go ahead.
I would say this, it's happening now.
That's what I was gonna say.
There's plays that he's checking out of, especially runs, and you want to say that he's seeing things, but maybe they're disguising something and he's not seeing it enough, because like there's certain plays that he checks out of that, especially in the running game, that end up not going anywhere, end up looking worse than what possibly the original play would have been. But I would chalk it up to him learning how to. Yeah,
Jeff's got it figured out. Just call Oppo.
Yeah, that's it. I think he's just learning how to be, growing with that. Again, learning how to be an NFL quarterback, man. It's just it takes some time.
I think what you're seeing is he's in certain situations, like, well, you talk about the people get so fired up, and I was fired up about the speed option or load option, whatever you want to call it, the fourth and goal in the one play, we'll just call.
Right.
You heard Flus come out and say that he had options. And when he says that, I think, and I understand, I don't agree with Matt Eberflus, but I think what he is trying to get across is that he has enough latitude to check off of that into something else. And he did not. And will he be doing that in week 10, 11, and 12? He probably would, because I think that's just the trajectory that he is on. And I happen to think, now I'm not a Flus fan, I think that that's what he meant there, is that he could have checked out of that and put them and Flus specifically said, if he switched it up and went to the right side on that, switched up the play. I think those are the things that he's talking about, and that can fall under the rookie fuck up part. But all in all, if that's the thing, Flus, call a fucking timeout, or just have your offensive coordinator call a better fucking play. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
That's what it really comes down to. You can't free yourself. You are the last fucking line of defense for bullshit, Flus. With the personnel usage, with the fucking play call. Oh, nope. DeAndre Carter's out there, and his responsibility is going to be to block a guy that's 100 pounds heavier than him. Nope. Fuck that. Nope. Shane, throw that the fuck out of the playbook. No. Come on. Be better. Come on, dude. You've been in this league a long fucking time. Caleb's been in it for 3 games, not even 3 games at that point.
I agree. I 100% agree. So here's another one.
Sonder Creation Studios, $5. Would you do anything at center right now when Bates comes back? Do you feel like the best 5 are left to right? Jones, Jenkins, Bates, Pryor, and Wright. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing what you have at Ryan Bates at center above Shelton 100%. I'm done with Nate Davis.
Yeah, I could care less about Nate Davis.
Yeah, Exactly.
I couldn't care
And
less about it.
I think as time goes on and the farther you get into the season, I think it's a disservice to the team. I think you have to get Amagaji some legitimate snaps. At some point. You've rotated guys in at left guard, center, and right guard before. So
Well, they've talked about how they like those rotations, and they sometimes will do that, which is, and I believe it's more of getting guys, either off of injury back into the mix and stuff like that. But nonetheless, you have a rotation on your defensive line. You got rotations on your offensive line. Hell, you rotated, unless you benched him that first game. You said there was a rotation with Nate Davis and Ryan Bates. So, why not get Kyron in there, getting some getting some quality of experience, guard, tackle, wherever. Get him in the game so he could get his feet wet and have some NFL experience under his belt.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's legitimate people out there that think that Amagaji has the tools to be a big time guard. I'm not against it. I don't see it initially. That doesn't mean that I'm right, but he's to me very much built like a offensive tackle. We'll see. Where was that one? I guess I should have started. Lloydimus. I don't know. I don't know if it's something that he's not doing in the classroom or on the practice field, but 100% DeAndre Carter has supplanted Tyler Scott. I mean, Tyler got a lot of love in camp from a lot of places. And again, he does not track the ball well. That is what he really struggles with it at this point. I don't know. Beyond that, I actually picked Tyler Scott as my surprise cut from the team that I had told Phil. Kind of thought that that's the way that it was going. I ended up being wrong, but I may have been partially right because he's not really getting any play at all. Can you speak on why Saquon was never ever coming to Chicago? Because I'm tired of people hearing about it. I think the Bears were involved. I just think it came down to they had a number and they didn't want to go beyond that number. And I think Saquon is from the vicinity in Philly, and he said to himself, "Oh, I can go play with an established offense that also has big time weapons. And oh yeah, by the way, has one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. And to me, a top 2 offensive line coach in Philly. I think that's and get paid. Right. Yeah, I think that's why. I know there was a rumor out there.
And stick it to the New York Giants.
Sure, absolutely. Get to play them twice a year. There's a rumor out there. Somebody put out there that he said he wasn't coming to Chicago because of they traded Justin Fields. Well, whatever. I don't buy that for a minute. I mean, yeah, it's
weird.
Jalen Hurts is leading the league in turnovers. Since the beginning of last season. So, yeah, we'll see. Gary Cadshaw, Shane, thoughts on Caleb looking better as a pure pocket passer as opposed to his scramble throws? Should he stop? No, he shouldn't stop. Anybody that told you that Caleb Williams could not be a pure pocket passer just doesn't like Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't know.
He only has one read.
Yeah, one read offense. It's I don't know. Yeah, no. That's the thing. You don't want to coach the aggressiveness out of this kid. He's going to make mistakes. That's part of being a rookie quarterback. I love everything about it. Yeah, he's has everything that you want in a pocket passer. There's some times where he needs to slow down a little bit. He's getting through his reads in a timely manner, but it's just everything from the neck down needs to slow down a little bit. That's why he's overthrowing a lot of these balls, especially deep, but that's easily correctable. I would be more concerned with Caleb Williams if he wasn't reading the field, and you can clearly see it on the tape. He's calling out coverages, Ivan, and he just is. I'm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's part. Like that's for me. That's the thing. He's calling out coverages. He needs to be able to see every defense in the NFL. He has not been able. He has yet to. It's game 3. So he hasn't even had the experience of seeing multiple fronts, multiple disguises, different defenses, different coordinators, different tendencies. Like that's all a part of it. And we keep, we use some of the greats, right? Like we'll point to some of the greats, like a Manning, like a Brady, Big Ben. These guys knew the tendencies. They had the experience against a lot of these defenses in the NFL, and they were able to adjust to it later on in their careers. Earlier on, they depended on a lot of things to help them out. Tom Brady, a great defense. Peyton Manning, he was really much an offensive go guy, but he had a lot of weapons. And if you look at Big Ben, he had a great defense and a great running game. Those things protected those guys until they were able to learn how to read the defenses. Have they seen enough of the defenses, the disguises, to make adjustments to basically do it in their sleep? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it takes time.
No, I I totally agree, and I don't want Flus coaching the aggressiveness out of this kid, because that's exactly one of the things that makes him special. I mean, Ivan, have you looked at the all 22 in any of these 3 games and not had a moment where you're like, holy fuck? Because there's been multiple moments at every stop where I'm like, wow, how the fuck?
There was multiple in one game, and last game. Some of the throws some of the throws, Shane. Like I said, even the one that we talked about, the interception.
Yep.
These throws aren't made last season.
No.
All right. These throws aren't made by certain quarterbacks. So some of these throws are special, and you don't see it as special right now because it's game 3 of his rookie year, and we lost to the Colts, a shitty Colts team, but. To continue that, if he continues that, right, and he has that with him, that I don't want to say gunslinger mentality, but that talent, that cannon of an arm. If he continues to put it on a dime like that, lessen the turnovers, we have something really, really special. Because those throws over the middle to Cole Kmet, to Roma Dunze, they are some dots, man. They are dotted in there, and there's only a few guys that can do that. You've seen, I know we all want to stay away from Mahomes, but you've seen him do shit like that. Hell, you've seen other quarterbacks. I've seen Jalen Hurts throw a couple like that too. Give it some time, man. Some of these things that he's doing, even right now, are some things that we haven't seen.
No, I agree, and there's things that he does and again, this is where people, they just want to criticize and they want to jump onto what you're saying. When you look on tape or even in the TV feed and you're like, wow, that looked like Patrick Mahomes, that has nothing to do with career arc. Nothing. You're simply saying that looks like a play that Patrick Mahomes has made before. I've seen that before. That's like with some of these throws in the pocket. There's the way that he really, Ivan, one of the most impressive throws that he had was an incompletion when he was scrambling to his left. And it wasn't even really sidearm. It was almost underhand. Was it to Swift and he dropped it? Or maybe it was Herbert. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a penalty. He ended up taking the helmet to helmet.
Late hit.
Yeah, late hit. It was a helmet to helmet. It was.
That's what it was.
helmet
But
to
you know which one I'm
But
talking about.
yeah,
That was impressive
he's
as fucking hell.
he's like
Yeah.
this, making the throw, and like you said, if he doesn't drop it, he gets some yards, man.
Yeah, it's a 7 or an 8 yard gain all
Yeah.
day. There was a defender there that probably would have stopped it, but still, it was that arm angle.
Things you can't teach. Things you can't
Right.
teach.
Yeah, exactly. And that's Scottish Bears, right? It's not even really a player. It you're showing something similar that they do, because even a player comp can get misconstrued as, you're projecting, and I know that's what you're saying. It's not a player projecting. I like to say career arc. If you say that looks like Mahomes, that doesn't mean that he's gonna put up Mahomes numbers. He's gonna win like Mahomes. It does not mean that. Every scenario is completely different, but people are so quick. Oh, I gotta. Shane and Phil are loud, and they're bullies. That's the shit that we're painted with. So they said this, so I'm gonna go jump at them. That's Ivan. You've seen the comments and the shit that we get. We send screenshots to each other all the time. It's complete fucking nonsense. I'll never ever understand it.
It makes you really well. First of all, it gives you an understanding of how the fan base thinks, and a lot of it is just irrational as fuck, right? Some of it there's some points, but again, it goes to the extreme because it reminds me of Cubs fans, right? During that drought, everything, like, it was either people were loving them or people were so down on them, and every time you'd have like a good team, there would be this contingency of Cubs fans that'd be like, oh, here they go, they're gonna fucking blow it, and granted, to the Cubs credit, they did blow it a lot of times, but I don't see that as being this Chicago Bears team. I think this Chicago Bears team is going to be a little bit different because of like you said, the players that they put in position on offense. Caleb Williams, and you have at least one side of the football ready to go, and that's more than a lot of teams can ask for. Sure. Now it's just about allowing your football players to develop. Caleb Williams, the most important, obviously. I would just like for them and him to understand that you don't have to be Pat Mahomes, and I think he understands that himself. This is just me talking. You don't have to be Pat Mahomes. Like Wiederer said, you don't have to fucking worry about Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields. Go out and worry about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears day in and day out, and you're on the right track. That's all I would ask for Caleb Williams to do. Focus on you, and you're on the right track.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I think we're gonna move off of the Q&A segment here and because it's about 20 after. I know we wanted to get out of here probably a little bit earlier. Got one more super chat here. Francisco Del Angel, $4.99. Thanks, man. Who would you go after for head coach, seeing how the Chargers? Oh, they're not there. It's not more than likely they are not moving off Jim Harbaugh. 100% not. I don't know, man. You're gonna hear the name Ben Johnson. You're gonna hear the name Bobby Slowick Jr. Those are gonna be, names that are out there. There's gonna be Ryan Poles is gonna have his list. I can't just sit here and be honest and say I have a list of 5 or 6 guys, because my headspace isn't even in there, because we're in week 3 of week 4, heading into week 4 of the NFL season. So those are 2 of the names that you're going to see hot and heavy. I think Ben Johnson probably would have had a job this past cycle in Carolina, but he didn't like the situation and most likely ownership there. I think he would have been the head coach of the Carolina Panthers had he wanted it. Like I said, Bobby Slowick is getting a lot of love down in Houston with his work directly with CJ Stroud. It's going to be obviously another name. Gruden's thrown his name back into that he wants to get back into coaching. I don't see that happening in the NFL. I thought Gruden should just go to college, and I think he'd end up building the powerhouse program. Don't forget what his favorite college football team is. Maybe he could win some football games in Notre Dame, by the way, Ivan. But anyways.
Don't get my hopes up. All right, Shane.
I hear you. But let's change our focus. Let's bring our girl back in here. Cherie.
Hello.
She's already eaten dinner.
Yep, nice and full. Finishing up with my wine.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
What are you drinking, Cherie?
Some Chenin Blanc.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, we better get out of here. We know what happens when she starts drinking, Ivan. Oh, Cherie. Conversations with the girl that you were.
Yeah, and it was more so because that was the wobble, and I think the electric slide or something came on, and she started to walk off, and I was like, "No, you got to do this one with me too."
Yeah. I have the original copy of that video with the song playing in the background, but I didn't want to copyright. So
yeah,
that music that you hear there, I had to line it up with some of the dance moves, but it does fit rather well, Cherie.
yes.
So
good job, Shane.
yeah, we love your moves, but Bears versus Rams in Soldier Field. Cherie, what is your score? And please give us a bold prediction.
Oh God, the bold prediction is that we actually have a run play. So I, along as you kind of hinted to earlier, I am with you and have very little faith that the Bears are going to come out with a W. So I have the Rams winning, but I do think it will be a close game, 19-17.
Can you get the pull-out drop cut, Ivan, and send to me immediately, please?
Yep. Oh, it was as soon as she said it. I was like, oh, all right.
I hate you guys so much.
Not my choice of words, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what was your score?
19-17 Rams.
19-17 Rams win. Bold prediction.
No, I was for real. Like
Oh.
I'll say just to make it a bold prediction, DeAndre Swift rushes for like 85 yards. That's bold for us.
That is. Are you talking about the next 3 games combined, or just talking about the Rams game? So 19-16, you said, or 19-17? 19-17 and 85 rushing yards for DeAndre Swift. God damn.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely bold. Ivan Vargas.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams 24-19.
Oh, you fucker, that was my exact score.
Yeah, I feel like, again, I don't trust the offensive coordinator and the coaches enough to, towards the end of the game, keep this team in a position to win or even elevate them into a position to win. So I'm going to continue I'm going to go back to what I was doing with the Texans and pick the Bears to lose. Bold prediction. I'll say Roschon Johnson has over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Wow. That you guys are going super fucking bold.
Gotta let your nuts hang out there sometimes, Shane.
That's right. Rock out with your cock out, right, Sheree? Yeah, Don't forget to pull out. Am I right, Sheree?
Shut up.
Anyways. Ivan stole my original score, so I will say the Rams 24, the Chicago Bears 17. It will be my final score.
I thought you were gonna Price Is Right me and go 20.
Yeah, thought about it. No, it's hard to fall. It's easy to fall into that trap. You forget about the Bears still have a a really good defense. But again, you're not facing Anthony Richardson this week. You're not facing who's the dude in Tennessee, Mr. Mayonnaise, Mr. Banana Peel. Will Levis. Yeah. And obviously CJ Stroud is a different beast altogether. But yeah, that's where I'll be on that. I'll say 24-17, Rams win. Bold prediction. You guys have went offense with both of yours. I'm gonna give you two of them. I am gonna say that Tremaine Edmonds gets another interception for the second game in a row. Matthew Stafford likes to throw some no-look passes.
Yeah.
He's working the middle of the field, and I think Tremaine, he might forget about that 6'5" dude that literally looks like an alien out there. He'll forget about him, but I will say he will extend his interception streak to 2 in a row. And Roma Dunze going deep, 42-yard touchdown from Caleb Williams.
Oh, all right.
Gonna get this offense cranked up just a little bit, but
you got special teams in there as well, or?
Man, we could talk about I don't like the new kickoff. I
hate it. I
wasn't a fan of it from Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
People tried to convince me that it's going to be good, and I am not a believer.
Yeah,
I don't see the point.
Not a fan. Hey, shout out to Cole. 10 for what? 97, 96. We'll take that and a touchdown. That dude got rocked.
No.
By the way, did you hear him? Did you hear him talking about that? I don't know if you listened to the 85, his pod that he does with CHGO.
No.
He even thought, he's like, yeah, I felt like he had the red hot pokers going through his ribs. So you got to get him some credit there. He said there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, and I was in a lot of pain, but I could go. So that's what you wanna see from your players. And oh man, I just wish he could have. I wish he could have got on to Latu a little bit on that, because Caleb was this close from ripping it to Rome on that.
Yeah, and again, I think it's all about, and I don't want to stay too long because I want to go. I'm pretty much cashed, but
yeah,
it comes down to play design. With that, I don't think you. Obviously, I don't think you put a 160-pound wide receiver on a DN. I don't think that play call.
Right.
Well, again, I don't think it should have been called. But again,
if you go back,
yeah.
So you have right next to Cole Kmet is Mercedes Lewis.
Right.
Mercedes goes out for the chip, and I mean, it's not even. I wouldn't even call it a half-hearted chip. It was like a friggin' chest bump that I would give my daughter. It was just, it was that.
It was Mercedes has nothing left.
Oh, it's time. He's got more false starts than impact blocks. I mean, it just is. I tweeted that out during the game. Hey, thank you. Make him a coach. He wants to be a coach. You know what I mean? Maybe if that's what he wants to do, he probably wants to retire and spend some time with his family when he's done. But it's time. And does Carlson coming up point more to Cole being dinged, or does it point to we may see some movement here by the time the bye week comes around? We'll see, because I don't think they're just going to throw him to the curb, because I think that they, inside the locker room and inside that organization, I think they have the utmost respect for Mercedes. But come on, man, you are the elder statesman in the NFL, and you're out there and you're getting false starts all the time. Not all the time, but way more than you should be.
When you get the opportunity, you get a false start.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So that's kind of where we're at. Ivan is going live at 1 a.m. I hear Friday, right, Ivan?
Yeah.
That one threw me for a loop a little bit. I had to text my guy over there. I'm like, are you just doing that because you might be late? And he's like, what are you talking about? But yeah, so we will be live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. East, Cars Keys. Cars and I will, we're not going to get into the numbers too much. You know, it's so early into the season. We have some things that we're going to talk about. After that, Ivan, you're going live at 12 East, or wait, 1 East.
1 East, yep.
On Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, did Steve, is he in for pregame on Sunday, or he might be going to the game?
As far as I know, he is.
Okay.
There'll be a pregame. So
yeah, there's going to be a pregame either way. It's going to start at 12 p.m. East Sunday. Obviously, Bears game kicks off at 1 p.m. East. If you are a TTNL Network patron, you will have the halftime show. I would say with me and Phil, but Phil hasn't been there lately, so it'll definitely be at least me. And if you want to become a patron, there is the QR code. Scan it. That will take you to our link tree, and it will link you up with everything, social media, our patron. It's good, $7. Check it out. Give us a shot. But with that being said, after that, BHL will be live immediately after the game. I'm not going to be there for the whole entire BHL, but Ivan, you'll be around, I think, for BHL. I have a family function that I have to attend, so I'll be there for the start, and then I got to bounce and grab my kids and get the fuck out. Go have a little party, so that'll be fun. But we're going to do that. We love you guys. Well wishes to Phil, Steph. Hope Steph feels better.
Jim.
Yep, Jim. Thoughts and prayers, and sending positivity and strength to Jim and his lovely wife, who, as I said, he lost his uncle to cancer. Talked to Jim a little bit before. I don't think he will mind me saying he was obviously going through cancer, and just talked to him, and he was feeling really, really well, and then things just obviously went the other way. So that's obviously never easy. And, as we say here at TTNL, fuck cancer. It's a bitch, that's for sure. But we're going to get out of here. That's right, Mike V. Family first. Jim and family. Yeah, love you guys. Jim will be here with us live next week. We're going to pick the names, I believe, live on air, who win the tickets to come have a good time with us on November 10th in Chicago. Bears versus Patriots. Should be a good time, as long as our head coach and offensive line coach and offensive coordinator and punter and running back all pull their head out of their asses. We'll see. But you guys got anything else to say?
Nope.
Cherie?
Go Bears.
It's just so slick and skinny in a hole.
Yeah. You feel the same way? I do. I know. I'm such a jerk. Jay Hood. What's that?
Hopefully that's Roshan this weekend.
Right. Who's this guy? Jackal, come back. We miss him. All right. Our guy's going to take us out. We're out of here. Puff, Ivan Vargas, Cherie. Nothing's on the menu tonight. I'm going to fucking bed. Love you guys. See you later.
I want to say something before we get underway about The Tape Never Lies. Okay, so I know that there's a billion podcasts and a lot of people talking about NFL and talking about the Bears. But let me just say that you really, if you are a viewer of Tape Never Lies, don't go anywhere else. Come right here. And the reason why is because Dr. Phil and the smartest man to ever live is going to tell you like it is. And so sometimes you'll go over here and I'll go over here and you'll hear this rhetoric over here, over there. Whittle it down. What I would say is ESPN Chicago, because I'll put myself over and I'll put ESPN 1000 over. But I think that we have to start whittling it down, man, because when you get these 10 or 15 sources, it muddles your mind on exactly what's truth and what's not. The Tape Never Lies network is about the truth.